Hey everybody, it's Michael from Bay Area Hiking Guides. Give me that information, give me that knowledge to hike with confidence. And I and Beth are avid Bay Area hikers. We are very informed of trails, plants, flowers. Check us out if you're new to the channel. Alright, so stay tuned for the next section of What's Blooming Now. Alright, so this is the next section of What's Blooming Now. This is the part 3 section. We went out there and got some beautiful flowers that are all starting to pop up, including the buttercups, one of my favorites. I always think of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory every time I think of buttercups, and they're an awesome flower. I love the little buttercups, and they always stay for a while too, which is always nice. So don't worry, we're not doing anything in the backyard, even though this is my backyard. We were dealing with some condition issues. We were out in Morgan Territory and we were dealing with 70-mile-an-hour winds and heavy rains. Here, hold on, let me get that off your face. I don't mind hiking in that, that's not a problem. It's the fact that my camera, my electrical equipment, and my sound equipment does not like it. So we got it all together. Alright, the next section of What's Blooming Now. Here we go.
Hi, this is Beth at Bay Area Hiking Guides, and we are out here in Las Trampas. We are right by the creek down here, and we have a really special flower. It's called a giant trillium. It's right behind me here. I can't quite get down there. It's right by on the creek bank. And giant trillium is a lily. Blooms has 3 large leaves, and it blooms with a flower that comes up the center of it. It's usually either red or pink, or sometimes kind of a whitish. A lot of times you'll see them in the redwoods, like you see them in Redwood Regional, or in the Santa Cruz Mountains. You'll see them a lot, but they do grow in shady, damp places. Sycamore Canyon and in Mount Diablo is another place you'll find them. But they're really special. They only bloom for a short period of time in the early spring. So it's a lily, it's a bulb, so it comes up every year in the same spot. I've seen this lily, this trillium coming up here several years in a row, right by this creek bank here. So, really special find, giant trillium.
So one thing I want to add about these trilliums is the pigs like to tear up the trilliums a lot. They like to eat the bulbs down below. So they'll bulb flower, and then they'll come and they'll dig them up, and then they'll eat the bulbs at the bottom. So it's pretty hard to see these guys out there because there's so many pig now, and the pig have been just tearing them up. The area that we found this one used to have a lot more of them, but because there was erosion and mudslides and cattle and pig and all that fun stuff, it's only got a few of them left. All right, guys, move on to the next flower.
And we're out here on Mount Diablo. We're in Mitchell Canyon, and behind me we have some miner's lettuce, and this is a little early bloomer. It's like a little round leaf with a little white flower in the middle of it. And the interesting thing about miner's lettuce is it is edible. And also the pioneers, one of the reasons it's called miner's lettuce is because the pioneers used to eat it because they didn't have a lot of fruits and vegetables in their diet, so they'd eat it to prevent scurvy, which is a disease that you get from not enough vitamin C in your diet. So they'd eat that to prevent getting scurvy. So it's kind of a neat little flower, and you see it growing in usually kind of wet, shady areas. It's underneath some trees here. So it's an early bloomer called miner's lettuce.
Scurvy, huh? Miners, all those guys back in the day, they ate a lot of meat and potatoes. But you can eat this stuff. I mean, I've eaten it before. You just pluck it off here with your hand. I usually don't eat the flower. And then grab it and get some vitamin C back in your body. I don't really recommend doing it near a trail like I just did. I recommend trying to stay away from an area where you get more dog pee and stuff like that. Because you don't know what you get a mix of. That would not be fun. And some of it gets a little bigger and some are smaller. There's different varieties. But it's also a cool little flower. You get that nice flower as well. Just want to add that in there. But I love this trail nonetheless. It's an awesome trail. Yeah, really pretty, as you can see. It's just beautiful. You have the California bays that are going to be coming out really soon, and I really, really enjoy it. So let's continue on and look at some more flowers on this Mitchell Canyon trail.
Okay, we're still here in Mitchell Canyon, and another plant we're seeing is the wild cucumber, and it's also called manroot, because it has an underground root that is about 5 feet long, and it lives, the root lives from year to year, and then it sprouts up these sprouts off the ground, and it gets this little white flower on it. And it also gets this real funny spiny fruit that it looks like a cucumber, and it's actually in the cucumber family, but it is not edible. And the fruit has spines on it, and you can take those spines off of it and use it as like a scrubbing sponge, like a loofah, if you want to. So there's one use for it. So it's kind of an interesting plant called wild cucumber. Okay, we just moved up the trail a little bit, and we found some Brodea down here. And there's a couple of different forms of this, but this is a very common one that you see. It's a little bulb. This is the leaf here. It's like a little bulb that again comes up in a lot of different places. It's very common. You see it. It's just starting to bloom. It's called Brodea. You can see these everywhere. They're a little strapped leaf here.
So they're commonly called blue dick, not to be confused with blue. All right. What is going on with the naming of some of these plants back in the day? I have no idea, but not a big fan of the name. I think they could have done a better job. Let's move on.
Just came across one of the first buttercups that I've seen this season. I think I saw one last week in Sonol. Always really pretty and colorful, and they're ranunculus. They're in the ranunculus family, so they like it nice and wet and moist, like we've been having these wet rains. And they're very pretty, and you'll see these for a while. They usually bloom for a couple of months, so you'll start seeing they're very common. The California buttercup. Up here on this rocky slope, I spotted a California saxifrage, and that's an early bloomer. It's a little low. It's like a little rock garden plant, and you'll see that. You can see some up there too, up the cliff there. And it grows on like a rocky slope in amongst the rocks, likes really good fast drainage. So you'll see it amongst the rocks. So it's a neat little plant. Another shrub we're seeing here called osoberry, a deciduous shrub, and it sprouts out with these little white flowers in the spring. Grows in kind of moist places. And it does have an edible berry on it, but it doesn't taste very good. So it's not something you really want to eat. But it is edible. It has a little black berry on it. It's called osoberry.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for checking out the channel. All those new subscribers that we just got. It's just such an honor to have you all. And we did our 100 subscriber video, and then we just kept climbing up from there. So it's just fantastic. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm able to provide such a resourceful amount of knowledge and information to a lot of you avid Bay Area hikers, as well as learn from you guys. We have a few people that have subscribed to the channel, and they're up there in skill too, and you guys can all collaborate with each other and learn from each other as well. So it's just such an honor. So thank you guys so much. It means a grateful amount to both me and Beth. So we're going to be working on the next section of What's Blooming Now, the fourth part, because there is stuff that's starting to pop up. The only issue that we're having is we've kind of had a weird season this year. We're getting a lot of rain, so we haven't been getting a lot of sun exposure because of all the high clouds and all the rain, so it's kind of slowed things up. Even the oak trees are kind of delayed a little bit. So we're on it as best as we can to get you guys that information. So we'll get up for you. We are planning on going to the desert on Sunday, and then we're not going to be back until Wednesday. So I'm going to try to get some footage in there, but we should definitely have 2 videos next week for sure. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and we're always here for you. You ever have any questions or comments or information or stuff that you want to provide with your own wisdom, feel free to leave a comment down below. You know, and also talk to us about some of the awesome flowers that you like during the spring, stuff that you really like to check out. I would love to hear your feedback on that, or stuff that we really enjoy. Or maybe there's a flower that you want to have us put on the show and we can talk about, or stuff that you saw that you don't know any information about. So that as well. We appreciate it. All right, take care.